So I think this video is going to be about, I made this by the way, I don't know what that's in there, little QR code on the back. Just put distractions everywhere. This video is going to be about like why I made the YouTube channel. I've always wanted to. I started little things here and there, but nothing everything sort of half-heartedly, and it's just about having another sort of creative output. You know, I do illustration, do graphic design, and everything else that comes with it. Funny enough, I can do video editing, but I'd like to do these raw. These just kind of like one hit. Yo, Rob. Right. And I think neighbours can hear. I think for me, it's about documentation. What do I write here? There's the branding of the channel as well. And I follow this guy called James Sinclair, and he says that, you know, there's all these bosses that make all this money. And he says, if you're not going to go in front of the camera, you just have to get over it. So, big ups James Sinclair. Let's get a coaster on that. Big up James Sinclair, because I am... I don't know where to start now. Should I start again? Just had one neighbour walk past and another neighbour I needed to speak to, so just have my balcony doors open so everyone can see me, and I'm looking out and thinking, oh no. Like, and this is another reason why I'm doing YouTube, like, to get better at talking. If someone walks past, I need to get better at not letting that, you know, like, mess with my head, or like or worry about what they think or anything, you know. So someone's walked past me, Rob, oh yeah, what's going on? What's going on? My other neighbour comes in. It's all good though. It's all good. It's just me being silly. I mean, I'm putting videos out, so like, why do I? Well, they can hear me. Yeah. Anyway, that's just me, my own battle. That's just stupid. So yeah, so the YouTube for me is about learning. I'm learning a lot about YouTube, like the YouTube studio and stuff, and I don't want to worship an algorithm, so I'm just going to try to do this naturally. And my friend told me to use less hashtags, which I'm completely fine doing. He says don't spam hashtags because the algorithm doesn't know where to put you. So he's like, use like 3 or 5 or something like that. So I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine. I don't really mind. I do have like a bit of some notes written with hashtags on it, and once in a while I just quickly update all the videos and add all the hashtags. But when I first send a video out, it doesn't necessarily get all that descriptive, you know, SEO. And I just got to let it go. And you know, one video did like almost 1,000 views the other day, and then one did 100, and then one did like 50. So I don't know, I'm sort of sending them out at the same time, but it's a learning curve for sure. And again, documenting my journey, and to be honest, I thought I'd be moving a lot faster until the Etsy got taken down. So I bought a printer as my business basically flatlined. I make about £15 from the asset store, and a couple of quid here and there from other bits, but nothing spicy. Whereas before I was making, I would say £20 to £50 a day. You know, let's average that out. It's £35 a day. Obviously payday happens, people buy loads, and then you have one day where you sell one thing and another day where you sell 10. So having that sort of network and then it just being taken away, if you think about it, I was spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds on fees at Etsy, and that's, you basically pay that fee. It's marketing, isn't it? Like people say, oh, I don't market, but those fees get you on, you know, on the algorithm. Again, I don't want to worship algorithms, but you know, it gets you on their store, and they put, you know, if someone searches something, you'll come up. So it was like 17 odd percent. If you add up everything on Etsy, it's 17-ish%, and then you can never actually quite know because of different prices on items. But yeah, it's something like that. So Shopify for me is a learning curve as well. So again, documenting all of this. Shopify. I had the shop live the other day, and I had people messaging me on TikTok, and I don't really rate TikTok, but it's a necessary evil, isn't it, or whatever you want to call it. You know that phrase. And someone was like, I can't buy a few, and I just thought it was a bot, like trying to get my email or something. And then I was going on Shopify, and I was just dotting the I's, crossing the T's, as I do. You kind of, that's all I'm really doing at the moment. It doesn't feel like I'm doing much, and it's very frustrating, but it's got to be done, all that sort of admin-y sort of stuff. And the shop wasn't live to Europe or international. Although I did the shipping, I didn't think about it. Like, you've got to make it active to these other places. So there you go. I was just had, you know, people messaged me, and I just thought bots. I just ignored them. I was like, what do you mean? Like, so, you know, that's sort of another thing. So Shopify, the learning curve there. I'll probably do some shorts on Shopify, and the branding, of course, is me. I love what I do. I hope that comes across. I realised the other day I got another subscriber. I was like, oh, 24, and then went straight back to 23. And I realised that if you're not really in this industry, you might not like this sort of stuff. You might not like me. You might not like me. It doesn't matter. But I hope that my passion comes across, and like, I think people who like something passionately, you can sort of relate to them because that passion's contagious. Like, you might be like into bloody, I don't know, radios or something, and you know, your passion will make me want to go illustrate. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, they love it so much. Like, it's contagious. It really is. So I hope that comes across. And the journey of, I'm working class, and I kind of want to have something in the future. I've given myself 5 years, so I'll be doing this for 5 years. So, you know, like and subscribe and all that. So I think that's interesting. I do like sort of small businesses and people trying to kind of punch the ceiling and get out. So that's what this is as well. So documenting, and obviously I wouldn't mind a bit more revenue, obviously. So I'm nowhere near the revenue threshold, but again, that's what they say. Like, it's sort of like work experience. You sort of do it for free for a bit, get your foot in the door, learn the ropes, and then the boss will give you a job. That's sort of, I think that's an alright analogy. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what YouTube is. And look, I'm documenting what I would be doing anyway. I'd be sitting here on a Saturday reading Twitter if I wasn't doing this. So like, I'm just trying to use my space efficiently, and, you know, probably talking to myself as well, as you do. So I wonder, you know, there's a lot of YouTubers that like, when eventually they start getting paid, they're like, I was going to do this anyway, and I'm doing this anyway. So and, you know, down the line, I think there's going to be more sort of production, better production and such, so better cameras, and I'll go to these like print exhibitions and such, and just have a mooch around, and I think the shorts for me, I can so if someone likes, you know, and they're not into the industry, but my shorts are basically adverts, so I hope that isn't annoying to people. I'm trying to make them more sort of, at least a bit entertaining than me going, buy this, you know. I just think that's going to be annoying. So I don't want to become QVC, you know. So I like to have little ideas or something that's fun just within the industry, and, you know, perhaps I could have one where I talk about Pantones or the software, or Roland in general, or, you know, rating printers, the, you know, printers have become a lot more entry level sort of prices. So you know, I almost feel like why do businesses even outsource? They should have their own little print department. Outsourcing costs so much, you know. And you could buy a printer for a couple of grand, give or take, maybe more or less, depending on what you want. If you want it like refurbed or whatever, and then you're just paying for consumables, and it can sit there as long as it's maintained, got given a bit of loving every now and then. You're good. So you know, and if you're doing a couple of stickers here and there and you're outsourcing it, you can print on demand on your own doorstep. And I sort of went against my business plan. My business plan when I first originally started is small things, just for inventory sakes and stocks. I could think if I'm getting small things done, you know, I've only got this flat and I can't really go mad. And now I've bought a printer and the Etsy shop's been closed down. So, you know, that's another sort of struggle that people life comes at you fast, you know. So I'm rebuilding at the moment, so I feel like I'm in slow motion and I'm very locked in, but at the same time the Shopify is this is painful. You can copy your Etsy store across to Shopify if it was live. I probably said this before, I'll say it again as well, but my Etsy store isn't live, so I've got to copy and paste everything, and then you've got to, after you put the listing up, you've got to go into the shipping. It doesn't sound like a lot of work, but it low-key is. And I reckon it probably takes about 15 minutes per listing. So you think I'll get an hour done, I've got like 4, maybe 5 listings up, and I'm just thinking, I want that done, and then I can really start to, you know, focus on other things. I'm also guilty of being spread thin. I'll say that again. I've said it before and I'll say it again. So I've got the formal stuff, which is Steed graphics, and then AMPERSAND as novelty. I want both because I don't want, say, like if like a construction company was working with me and they're seeing that I'm making, you know, silly little dog stickers or whatever that someone wants, you know, and he's like, right, I need some health and safety stuff. This guy's not a serious guy, you know. So I want to have, depending on the customer, you know, and AMPERSAND is retail, and AMPERSAND's B2C, business to customer, and Steed graphics is probably more B2B, but obviously they overlap. So yeah, so and I think YouTube's fun as well. I use YouTube. I don't watch TV, don't watch Netflix, I don't have any subscription video stuff. All I do is watch YouTube and Twitter, really. You've got a bit of brain rot with Instagram. I don't even really watch TikTok. I watch my friend's stuff, who's got another business, and apart from that, and you know, apart from when you turn it on, there's a video there. That's as far as I go with TikTok, really. There's nothing on there that I find it. I notice it's very distracting after about 5 seconds. And I'm just like, you know, there's a lot of printing stuff on there as well, and I'm, you know, I want it all. So I don't need that sort of distraction at the moment. I don't need a window shop because I'm not at that level. So, you know, moving forwards, it's just kind of just crunching the admin at the moment, and you know, and I do understand the shorts. So if I'm gonna make them a bit more lovely, a bit more not looking like an advert, but it is an advert. Like, I'm not trying to like manipulate. I mean, at the end of the day, I think marketing is manipulation. Like, you know, I want you to give your money to me, which makes me, you know, need to create an emotional reaction. That's the number one thing in marketing. Or because it's, you know, things I'm selling is potentially the, you know, the B2C stuff is a want, not a need. Well, maybe not product. You know, if you have a product, maybe not that, but you know what I mean. Like, even like if I do like 20 stag t-shirts for like a stag, like, you know, silly little t-shirts for, you know, one use sort of thing. Yeah, it is a want. It's not a need, is it? So we will. So I've really got to. So that's why I separate them. That's why I separate them. Whereas the health and safety stuff's necessary. There's a lot of red tape these days, and I think it's getting worse. There's more and more sort of auditing and such. So you give me one, and then again, once I get the AMPERSAND stuff, I can start approaching construction sites. And I've got friends who are in them, and I say, look, if your preferred supplier lets you down, give us a shout. And I think that's how you get your foot in the door. You don't push. You just say, hi, this is what I do. If you need me, I'm here. I wonder if this video is going to be quite funny. 14 minutes, that's all right, isn't it? Like and subscribe, guys. Printing, passionate printer, and everything that comes with it will be on this video to come. And the shorts are going to be just a bit more silly goosey. Do I want to do that? They're going to be less in your face, like buy. I'm going to be like, here's a product. It's a nice product. I don't know. Anyway, have a good Saturday. And oh yeah, I don't know if I'm going to add that first bit in so you didn't see me press it. Maybe you did. Depends on what I'm feeling. I don't really want to edit. That's why I want to do it raw. Cheers. Peace. Like and subscribe. Print.